if I'm in the sport, why wouldn't I want to someday be the greatest ever? You ask people's go-to takedowns or favorite takedowns. It's usually not a inside trip. I mean, I probably try to hit it just about every match. Don't know if I want to get hit for a living. I think people think I'm a lot bigger than I really am. My favorite duel since I've been in college was definitely 2019 when we wrestled Iowa at home. It was insane.
Are you going down to 125 this season?
Well, I'm going down to 125, but
you've been in some insanely big matches. It's just like you just keep coming up short. All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we have Daton Fix eventually coming on, but Crosby and I are going to give a little rundown first about what we got going on.
Before we even do that, we are powered by Cauliflower Combat Gear.
Sir. What we thinking about the light? Merch, too. I'm officially on board the Cauliflower team, so a lot of cool stuff in the future. We got Clash of Combat's capsule drop, my capsule drop, if that's what that means. Basically, it's like you got your pants, hoodies, shirts, a lot of cool designs. Super looking forward to that. Those should be out here next couple weeks, maybe a month or so. So a lot of cool things in the works. But
use code CLASH, 20% off your entire purchase.
Boom. What's up with all these number ones at 125? Just losing.
Dude, I just saw a Yanni quote. I feel weird. I can't look at you. I just saw a Yanni quote that said, the only person who has a 0% chance of winning nationals at 125 is the 1 seed. He's right, though.
What a goofer.
He's right.
Should there just not be a number 1?
They should just do 2 and beyond.
Yeah. I mean, because
so the last seed gets a bye.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Yeah, could you imagine if like a number 29 seed could possibly have a chance? Like, what was the lowest or worst seed to actually win a national title?
Ben, fact check, please.
Fact check that.
Lowest seed to win an NCAA title.
That'd be so interesting.
I bet it's like a 12.
A 12, yeah. Could you imagine just like a 20 or something? Because remember, the guy Nick Lee wrestled. He was ranked. He was low. He was really low or high, however you do that. But I think he was from North Carolina.
He's around there.
He's around there. But I'm cutting weight now, so I'm like a little sucked in, energy depleted.
It's only like that if you tell yourself.
That's true. No, I'm feeling so awesome, guys. 13th seed, Cody Brewer was 13th seed.
133 pounder, Cody Brewer.
Wow, yeah.
13th
Man,
seed.
can you imagine being those other 12 guys being like, wow. Like I was ahead of him. He just wins.
Like that's probably, you think like the 2 seed or the 1 seed thinks that the 2 beats him?
I think. Well, I guess it depends. You're right. I guess it's in the eye of the beholder. But I wish more up. I mean, I love when upsets happen at the end of the day. 'Cause it's just like wow, like you're always rooting for that underdog or just the top guy to go down at some point. Just stories are interesting there. But it's really hard, I think, for that to happen too. And as time goes on, it's like, are those number 1 guys like really like? I don't know.
Are they really number 1?
No, like there's no way like number 1 seeds are losing. Like you see Brooks losing, you see Sriracha losing,
oh, yeah.
You see Keegan losing. Carr.
Yeah, I do see Keegan losing actually. Like pretty
Teemer?
clear.
Teemer?
Teemer's not the one.
Oh.
Teemer is winning 157 though. Teemer's my boy.
Yeah, might have him on next, huh?
Yes, sir. One of these next few ones.
Yeah.
And then, actually, funny story. Caden got kicked out of one of our group chats on the team because it's the name of the group chat is Team Teemer because we're all Teemer fans, and he's a hardcore Peyton Robb fan apparently.
No, the chat
so he got kicked.
The chat was Fortnite, buddy. He's supposed to talk about Fortnite memes and stuff, and I just get kicked out because every group chat I'm in, Crosby kicks me out for some reason. Some reason he has the authority for that.
Every group chat.
Other than our actual team group chat, which I don't know if you have control over, but
dude, you can kick me too.
Okay, and
are you not back in that one? I don't even think it's called Team Teemer anymore.
I'm not in there.
Oh, you want to be back?
No, I'll probably make another one for everyone but you. But
anybody can kick anybody in a group chat.
Okay, I understand. I'm not one to kick.
You got kicked already. It's just a joke, Aiden.
No, I get it.
Just a goof.
No, I get it. I'm just a little out of it.
You were happy about it until you Because I did it because it felt like you were distracted and I needed you to get back to work, you know?
Yeah, okay.
So I was kind of doing you a favor there. I'm just looking out for you.
No, I appreciate that.
And
Yeah. No, let's go into this fix pod and we'll come back later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Clash of Combat podcast. Today we're joined with the greatest ever, Daton Fix. Daton, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. We got to start off with a bang because this is all over the media. Are you going down to 125 this season?
Well, I'm going down to 125, but not to the Olympic trials. So.
Okay.
Not during the college season, but
okay.
I will be going 57 kilos at the Olympic trials. So.
How early do you have to start, like, I guess, your weight management process, and how does that look getting that low?
I mean, obviously, it's not real easy, or I would be wrestling 125 right now. So, I just got to be smart about my weight. Not try to get as big as I may in the past. But the last couple of weeks I've been doing a pretty good job with my weight. So, I think that what I'm doing right now is working for me, and I'm making 133 pretty easy. And I think that's a great start for eventually going down to 25.
Sure.
What's the biggest you ever got up to?
I don't really know. I don't really like to weigh whenever I know I'm big. So,
you think you ever hit the 160 mark?
I don't know. Probably not. I think people think I'm a lot bigger than I really am. But they got to realize that I'm really short. So
yeah, 160 would be massive.
Yeah, if I was,
yeah,
if I
that's
was
true.
160, I'm only 5'4", so I would be really I'd be really fat if I weighed 160.
I think you might have height on him.
Yeah. I'm the. Jeez. We got to hear. Kids love to hear these post weigh-in snacks or snacks that you can eat when you're cutting weight. What do you kind of have after weigh-ins?
So I've always been a big Pedialyte guy. Since I was young, I would always like to drink Pedialyte after weigh-ins.
Flavor?
Any flavor. I like them all. I mean, I've tried pretty much every flavor. I'm
a big blue raz.
Yeah, the blue, both the blue ones are good. The berry frost and the blue raspberry one, they're both really good. And then usually in college, I usually have, ever since I've been in college after weigh-ins, I always have some oatmeal. So oatmeal, and I put banana and some honey in there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
nice. Gotta have the honey.
Yep, make it a little sweet, nice little treat right after weigh-in. Actually, the new 2-hour weigh-in, that is really nice. It's
yes, it is
way different than that 1 hour. The 1 hour was crazy, but the 2 hours definitely way better.
Oh yeah.
Now with 2 hours, I feel like I can eat and then I can sleep to digest a little bit. I can sit around. I don't just have to eat after cutting weight and then just going back and warming up. So
yeah, especially being one of the lighter guys, you got to. I mean, you're in the 1 hour weigh and you're eating and drinking in 30 minutes, and then you got to go warm up.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Nice. It's been nice. Those 2 hour weigh-ins, you have a lot of time to just kind of digest your food and get ready to wrestle.
No, that is a good change. But what about the 3-point takedown change? How do you think that's been treating you?
I think it's benefited me. Just in my last match against NC State, I only needed 3 takedowns to get a major, and I think that if you take your opponent down 3 times, then I think that's enough that you should be able to get bonus points. Because it's not easy to beat someone, especially at the level that we're wrestling. Getting 3 takedowns to 0. I think that you should probably be rewarded for that. But on the other hand, I've said it. We've kind of just talked about match situations. You're really always in a match with a 3-point takedown. Even if you're down, just for example, in that match that I was wrestling last weekend, I don't know what the score was for sure, but I know I needed a takedown to get the major and takedown right out to get the major. But if I give up a takedown there, he's right back in. He's gonna cut me loose, and he gets one more takedown. He's probably either tied or in the lead. So it's no lead's really safe, and I think that promotes wrestling and promotes continuing to try to score points.
Yeah. What has your training been like this year since it is an Olympic year? Are you just straight folk style, or are you getting freestyle in?
I've just been, training a lot of folk style right now. Uh, Not really too much freestyle, but I'm sure I might have some more freestyle, practices as I get closer to the Olympic draws.
I do gotta ask this because you're a shorter guy. Now I'm trying to work on this too, but like you do it better than like anyone. Your inside trip. I always think if guys are taller, it'd be so much easier. But being on the short side, you still hit it on like everyone. So kind of if you could, what's the secret?
I don't know what the secret is. It's just something that I kind of feel. I think it's more of a feel thing than anything. I just, I don't really know. I think I learned it from Kendall Cross. I think that he showed it to me when I was, just kind of getting into wrestling, and it was just something that I picked up pretty naturally, and it's something that I probably try to hit it just about every match. So it's
Yeah.
definitely one of my go-to. It's you ask people's go-to takedowns or favorite takedowns. It's usually not a inside trip, but that's probably my favorite. And
you can probably
my
inside
go-to.
this big guy too.
Probably. I got kind of like a double question here.
Okay.
Like what is your relationship like with John Smith, and how is he as a coach?
We have a great relationship. He's, I think that he's awesome. Just I've always looked up to him, and he was a big reason that I wanted to go to Oklahoma State, and obviously I've known him for a long time. Just growing up in Oklahoma, and he had a son that Joe Smith, who was right around the same age as me. He's a couple years older, so I've been over to his house when I was in junior high and stuff like that, just to be around Joe and hang out with him and train up at Stillwater. So I've known him for a long time. So we have a great relationship. And as a coach, he's hard. He's a hard, kind of old school coach, and he's going to tell you how it is. And that's for me. That's I need that sometimes. I need someone to tell me how it is and not to sugarcoat things. I think that it's good for me, and some people it might not be the best for, but for me it's a good relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
What are some like if you could, what are some exact kind of circumstances where like something was going on and he told you how it is and you were like, damn, he's right?
Sorry, my mom started calling me. But just so whenever I'm wrestling, a lot of the times guys they kind of back up. They tend to back up, don't really want to wrestle me. And especially when I was younger, like in my first couple years in college, that just really kind of frustrated me. It was something that I had to deal with pretty much every match. This guy's just posting off, blocking off, not really trying to score, just trying to keep it close. And he just said, kind of shot me straight and said, that's just how it's going to be. Even if the guy's stalling, you got to find a way to score. And I think that that just kind of helped something click with me, and it was the right thing to say because it's the truth. I needed to find a way to score. Because even if guys aren't going to wrestle me, then I got to find a way to score some points somehow. So I obviously developed different ways to score.
Yeah, kind of going back on your earlier years. Now I'm not gonna lie. In my early years of high school, kind of before, maybe even I really got into like the freestyle and Greco, just kind of training. I looked on USA Wrestling's matches for freestyle and Greco matches, and man, I was like, who is this Daton Fix guy? All his matches are like so short, and you're like winning all against all these guys. I'm like, dang, like this guy's the champ. I think you were like a little bit heavier than me, so I was like, holy cow, like man, he's good. Were you always that good? And I mean, 168 wins and no losses in your whole high school career. Like, were you always good from an early age, or how was that?
Yeah, so I actually didn't start wrestling until I was in like the fifth grade. So it was it's kind of later than most people. Obviously, most people they start wrestling when they're 5 years old. But wrestling it was a part of both my families, my mom's side and my dad's side. Both my grandparents wrestled. Both my grandpas wrestled in college. My dad wrestled in college. So it was kind of like eventually, like just a matter of time before I decided that I was going to wrestle. But they didn't never push me into it, and I think that really helped me, develop like a love for the sport. But at an early age, so since I started so late, I the first probably year and a half, I took a lot of losses that I probably shouldn't have, just because I didn't have as much experience.
Mm-hmm.
But my dad would always tell me, once you have as many matches as those kids, then you're gonna be fine. You're gonna beat those guys. And it was true. And I can remember my dad, being in the corner, and I was wrestling a guy that beat me by 10 earlier in the year, and later that same year he only beat me by 4. My dad's in the corner, cheering that I've closed the gap that much in a couple weeks. So it was just something that it taught me that it doesn't matter what the results are all the time, that as long as I'm getting better and improving, then that's what's important.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Caden mentioned before this started that you have a younger brother. Can we be expecting any big things from him coming up here?
He's so he kind of took the same path as me. He didn't really start wrestling but he waited even later. He waited. He just kind of started probably the last 2 years. He's really gotten into it. But he does a lot of things. He's a football player. He's a golfer. He can sing. He's gotten into wrestling. I think he's starting on his team as a freshman at 138. So he's doing good this year. One thing about him is his number one takedown is an inside trip too. So
Really?
Of course. He sees his brother hit it all the time.
He needs to develop some more attacks, but he kind of relies on that and only that. But he's doing good. He's going to be a lot bigger than me, so I think that'll help. Honestly,
he's a freshman in high school. He's already a weight class higher than you.
Yeah, he's a lot taller than me too. He's
Jeez.
Yeah, he's going to be a lot bigger than me. So once he grows, I think that it'll help with his wrestling. Just because I think that whenever you're a small guy, it's definitely, I think it's a lot harder, because there's when you're only 140 pounds, then there's only really one sport that he can do and be the best at it. So I think that he gets bigger, and I could help him learn some of little secrets to beat some big guys. I think that it'll be a lot easier for him.
Yeah. I'd say another thing too that I kind of want to get into. I want to hear your mindset about this. You've been in some insanely big matches, and it's especially like in the national finals, and it's just like you just keep coming up short. It's like how does that play with your mentality, and how can you continue to come back the next year and be like, I'm going to be the guy to win?
Yeah, obviously it's never easy. You lose those big matches, but for me, it's I'm still, every time I go into one of those matches, I'm still I have full belief in myself. I'm still completely confident that I'm good enough to win. Then I should win, because I know the work that I put in. I know how I live the right kind of lifestyle, that I do all the right things, that I should be able to win those matches. And it's just a matter of putting it all together and get it done whenever it matters the most. And I've obviously fallen short a couple times, but my attitude has pretty much stayed the same. I still believe that I'm the best, and I'm looking forward to getting back in those big matches.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. After college, are you going to go the full wrestling route, or do you have maybe an MMA in your future?
A lot of people have asked me about MMA, but I don't know if I'll jump into it or not. I just don't know if I want to get hit for a living. I think that it takes a special person to be able to do that. I definitely want to coach eventually. I want to be a coach. So obviously I'll see how much longer I can wrestle. I'm going to wrestle as long as I can, but eventually I want to coach. So
see yourself back at Oklahoma State coaching?
If they'll have me, I'd love to stay in Stillwater. Yeah. I love Oklahoma State, and I love being in Stillwater. So,
what is it like wrestling in like the duels, like the whole atmosphere? Because I know at Oklahoma State, like things can get pretty intense. So just maybe like even describe like your first duel at home. What was that going like in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. Obviously, I dreamt of wrestling in Gallagher since I started wrestling. So it was a dream come true. Being able to run out and just really experience it from a different perspective, and just it was really a dream come true. My favorite duel from since I've been in college was definitely 2019 when we wrestled Iowa at home. I mean,
I knew you were going to say that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was insane. Like, so we were up in the room, so we really didn't know like how many people were there. We could tell like that it was. We obviously knew it was going to be a big duel, but we come out and there wasn't an empty seat in the whole room. And
Jeez.
if you've ever been in Gallagher, it's like two like sections. So there's like a small like bowl section, and there's like a bigger like top section where so it's like almost like when you're in Gallagher, if it's packed, like the fans like almost sit right on top of you.
Jeez.
So I mean, it gets loud, and it was definitely the most fun duel that I've ever been a part of. And what's cool about Oklahoma State is we have such a good legacy, and we're such a well respected school that anywhere we go, we go on these road matches. We're most of the time we're going to be their biggest duel of the year. We always have pretty big crowds for road duels. I think that we set the record at NC State for their most attended duel, and then I think Wyoming. I think we had one of their top duels too this year. So it's whenever we wrestle for Oklahoma State, it's it's a big deal to compete against us. So we know that when we go into these matches on the road, it's going to be a big it's going to be basically their Super Bowl most of the time.
Right.
No, that's cool. I feel like so in us, like I don't know if you know anything about me and Crosby, but us wrestling at Parkside, we don't really fill, I guess, an arena or I would say a stand of bleachers. But I can just imagine like wrestling like at the state tournament. Of course, I'm sure it's like a state tournament basically every single duel, and that's got to be surreal.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome, and I'm just very grateful that I've gotten the opportunity to represent my university and my dream university, and just blessed.
For sure. So I got a question. You can comment on this as little or as much as you want, but your ex teammate AJ Ferrari obviously had his whole scandal at the Soldier Salute tournament. And what are your thoughts on that?
I don't really have much to say about it. Obviously, I don't think he should have flipped off the crowd or anything, but I wish him the best, and hopefully he obviously he's entertaining to watch, but hopefully he does it in the right way.
Yeah.
So biggest thing here, what do you want your legacy in wrestling to be if you have one?
So a lot of people take my Instagram and my Twitter handle kind of the wrong way. They say it's obviously it's the greatest ever, but they think that I'm kind of calling myself the greatest ever. And obviously that's, if I'm in this sport, why wouldn't I want to someday be the greatest ever? But I'm not, I know that right now in my career, I'm not the greatest wrestler ever. Obviously, there's, hundreds of thousands of, people that have come before me that are great wrestlers. But, for me, the handle greatest ever is just kind of a reminder, for me, just to, if I want to be, the best, then I got to do it every day. I want to be the greatest version of myself. And, I know someday, wrestling isn't forever. So even, after wrestling's over, obviously I want to be the greatest coach that I can be. I want to be the greatest dad that I can be someday, the greatest husband that I could be someday. And it's just a good reminder for me to, that I have people watching me, pretty much all the time. I go out, I know that people are going to know who I am, and I have to be, hold myself to a different standard.
Yeah. No, I really like that. I appreciate you saying that. I think that clears definitely just that whole mindset thing. It's like we can apply that to our own lives. It's like, why not think that at the end of the day? So
Absolutely.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too. Do you have any closing remarks for the podcast?
I don't have anything. I appreciate you guys having me on. It was fun fun talking to you guys. And, anytime you guys need anything from me, just let me know. And I'd be happy to, if I can help out in any way.
Awesome. You're the man, Dayton. I'm looking forward to seeing you the rest of the year.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Good luck
For
the rest
sure.
of the season.
Good luck.
Yes, thank you guys. Good luck to you guys too.
Thank you.
Yep.
That was fire.
So Dayton's the man. I
say that.
I'm rooting for him. I hope he does win this next NCAA.
Yeah, he deserves it. Crazy news. I was convinced he was going to 125.
Really? Why?
Because it just makes sense. Think about it. March, he wrestles 125 at the NCAAs.
Yeah.
April, he wrestles 125, 55 kilograms at the Olympic team trials.
Isn't it a little bit over 125 though? 125.7 or something?
Point what?
Oh.
125.2. So it's like...
Right. It's right there.
Then he would be there. Like, I know it's like, a month apart or probably, no, it's got to be less than a month, probably a few weeks.
Sure.
But at least you get to weigh in down there.
Right.
At least once beforehand.
Dude, I don't think the 25s would ever see that inside trip coming, even though they know he's hitting it. Like,
he would destroy them, bro.
Me and Crosby were still talking about it. Like, how does Fix hit an inside trip on like everyone with how like short he is with his length? It's crazy.
5'4" inch shoes.
Like if he was 6 feet tall at like any weight,
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And he said his brother's already hitting inside trips freshman in high school.
Yeah. And like how late he started being a fifth grader. Like literally those next couple years, like up until high school, he never lost a wrestling match, a folk style match, but yet wins like 6 junior or Fargo titles or whatever it is. Like how do you get back in that
Caden was saying, so he started in 5th grade and he won 2 Fargo titles in 8th grade or freshman year?
No,
freshman year.
It was freshman year. I'm not too sure, but I just remember him winning. He was like the first guy I saw that won like both at the same weight. Like when I first started watching like freestyle and Greco. So I was like, dude, he's the GOAT.
It's pretty crazy.
But that made that veto statement true. Like pretty much, if you know the good habits, you build on those good habits from like a later age in life. Like 4 through 12 could be learned from 12 to
Didn't Vito
15.
also start like 5th grade?
Yeah, so it was later too.
Like I'm sure he was still like around it, but he like didn't start.
But the thing is, like, I think with those two that are exceptions is their parents were like goated wrestlers. Like Fix's dad was like really good.
Really?
Yeah, I think his dad was like on something crazy. But think about it, everyone in Daton Fix's like family line wrestled above him. Daton Fix, dad, wrestling.
I'm starting to smell a little cap here. It's been like 10 minutes. We've been waiting 10 minutes. Like this is cut. This is all cut out. But as you guys know, we just waited 10 minutes for Caden to search for that.
I guess I couldn't find it, but okay. If all your grandparents' dads wrestled in college too, like, and plus he said like John Smith just comes to his house. I think he said before he wrestled.
Oh,
having the GOAT of wrestling in your house before you're wrestling
because he was his. I can't remember what he said.
Yeah,
we're filming this a day after, by the way.
Yeah,
this is not directly after, but he said something about John Smith coming to his house.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I think if you have a good wrestling coach or like someone in the area that just comes to your house at an early age, like Dan Gable with Ben Keeter, it's like, dude, you're like Bo Bassett always being with Kale.
I forgot about that. I forgot about the Ben Keeter one.
Yeah,
because he lived in his house or the rented house.
Yeah, something. Man.
Maybe someday I'll rent a house out to one of your kids and then they'll become wrestling legends.
I was just going to say the same thing. I live at the same place you live in, so hope it impacts you.
Come on. But yeah, guys, shit.
We got 2 duels coming up. We got Mary Minot. If you guys know last year on my channel, we faced some haters.
Yeah, that was
probably
hype.
On the football team.
It's hype.
Yeah, it was hype. Just kicking their butts. So hopefully we do that again. But
and my dad's got a pretty cool. They got a pretty cool home setup.
What? Oh, the big gym.
Not?
Yeah,
they had like the whole arena. Shit.
Yeah, that thing is massive. We really fill that place.
Yeah, it was like a whole arena for like 12 fans.
Yeah, I could only imagine. I'm really excited though to see how many people will show up, like fans, I guess, when wrestling, because like how we were talking with Fix, like we can maybe fill a couple rows.
You should tell your fans to come during the Parkside Pack the Denny event.
Come to the pack. I did. I filmed a TikTok for the lady at Parkside Lady.
Oh.
Hopefully people come out. Come to a Parkside duel. If you guys live close or live far away, come travel. Say what's up.
Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Yes, sir. Let's defend the den together, baby. Cool. Any last words for you?
That's it.
What else do we want to talk about?
I don't know.
Are these questions you put in there? Oh my, dude! Imagine if someone was driving and they heard.
Dude, is that what you heard when you fucking were into that poor lady?
right,
that
I'm
poor
out.
lady.
I'm out.
Thanks for watching.
Hey, like and subscribe.
Now you're shooting people. Bro.
Hey, thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry.
What is this?
I'm sorry, dude. Hey, Ryan actually dropped a couple new songs too, so
Keep it a stack.
keep it a stack, baby. Let's go, Clash of Combat.
I came back now, getting on his guap. I don't think I better pass now. Paper so long, I might fuck around and cash out. Everyone on my side, now I got it back and I tell her say goodbye. Yeah, I'm in my zone, yeah, they ask me how I do it.